Well, hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about tattoos, okay? I did 2 tattoo tags in the past, one like a year and a half ago and one 6 months ago, but since then I have gotten like 5 more tattoos. So today we're doing an updated tattoo tour. I didn't feel like talking about makeup, so I want to talk about my tattoos because I stopped updating that video with how many new ones I got. So today we're going to go over all of my tattoos. I do have this many. I don't know off the top of my head. I should have counted before I started this video, but I didn't. So I have several tattoos. Today we're going to talk about them. I'm going to try to do them in order, obviously, because my arm has a lot of them. You're going to see the other ones as I talk about them. But today I'm going to go through all of my tattoos, tell you why I have them, and all that good jazz. So without any further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, before we get started, as a disclaimer, if you don't like tattoos, it's weird that you clicked this video because I have them and they're not going anywhere, but somehow when you make a video like this, people who hate tattoos comment. I'm like, why are you here? Why'd you click this? I don't know. But let's get started with my first tattoo, which was a baby tattoo done in someone's house because I was scared that I could not handle a tattoo pain because I didn't know how bad tattoos hurt. So my first tattoo was a semicolon. It's on my wrist. It's been redone several times because it would not hold at all. I didn't know you couldn't get wet. It rained that night that I got this tattoo. It fell out. It fell out the second time. Finally, the third time it was done, it stuck in there, but I just have a semicolon. The semicolon project's a huge thing. You can Google it, but I just like to summarize it as like depression and suicide awareness. So I have a semicolon tattoo, very typical, everyone has one, but I didn't know how bad a tattoo was going to hurt the first time, so that's what I got. Second tattoo I ever got was on my back, so there's a couple tattoos I can't show you, but the second tattoo I ever got was Marilyn Monroe's signature on my back. Now I do have 4, so you're going to see all 4 at the same time, but they were done separately, so I did Marilyn Monroe first. The person overworked my skin and it fell out really bad. And it was really overpriced and it was horribly done. It was in a tattoo shop next to a nail salon. It was like in the same thing, so like it smelled like nail polish in there. And he like overworked my skin. I was in there for way too long getting that tattoo and it fell out. But I went to a second place to get Humphrey Bogart's underneath. Humphrey Bogart's signature. And they redid Marilyn's and it held in there better. And then I also went in a third time to get a touch-up on Humphrey Bogart's signature, which still doesn't look the best. And I also added Clark Gable and Marlon Brando's signature, even though I think Marlon Brando's is above Clark Gable's signature. So on the back of my right shoulder, I have 4 old Hollywood classic stars signatures on my back: Marilyn Monroe, Humphrey Bogart, Marlon Brando, and Clark Gable. 4 of my favorite old Hollywood stars, and I love classic vintage movies, so that's the reason for my shoulder. I do like it, but I feel like it's a waste of space at this point because it is very spaced out and it's just some lines, so I probably wouldn't pick that again, but I don't regret it. It's fine, it's there. Now this is where it gets tricky because I don't know what was next. This is gonna be an issue. So next I believe was my rib cage. So my rib cage says Glory in the Flower. It is from a poem called Splendor in the Grass, which is also a movie starring Natalie Wood. So I first loved the movie, love vintage things, love the movie, and I identify with so many different characters through different periods of my life. So yeah, I really like the movie. Made me cry so many times. Every time I watch it I cry for different reasons, just depending on how I am, because I feel like I can identify with everyone in that movie. So that, and I love the poem, so that's why I got that. And it was my first time having color because I got some color flowers on my ribs, and absolutely one of my favorite tattoos still because I just love the placement of it. And it's also lower under the boob so that I can still wear like a swimsuit if I wore swimwear, which I don't, and you can still see it. Or if I'm wearing a bra, you can still see it. After that, I got a visible tattoo. This is not visible, it's too tiny, you would never notice it. So after I did my back and my rib cage, I moved on to my arm and I got this right here, which is GPS coordinates. So this with the heart at the end is the GPS coordinates to Westwood Memorial Cemetery, where a lot of old Hollywood figures, including Marilyn Monroe, I really got it from Marilyn, are buried. So I got her burial place tattooed on my arm, and I wanted a Marilyn tattoo that wasn't just a signature because that's very standard what everyone else gets. I wanted something more unique, and I put it in a typewriter font because of the era of the stars that I enjoy from there. Also, Jack Lemmon is buried there, which is really cool. So there's a lot of old Hollywood people there, and I got it for Marilyn mostly, and I've added a little heart for her too. But I got in typewriter font, and I got something subtle that you wouldn't know it was for her unless I told you. So that's really cool, even though I get questions all the time about it, about like, where's this? And people think it's like a personal thing, or I've gotten people thinking it's a prison number on my arm, so that's fun. But no, it's GPS coordinates to where Marilyn Monroe was buried. What was next? Oh, okay, because I made mistakes. I didn't know I was going to tattoo this entire arm. So my next tattoo is right here. So it says, "The fear of falling apart," with some dots and another heart to match this heart. But I got some dots at the end because it is a line. So "The fear of falling apart" is from Panic at the Disco. It is from the song This Is Gospel, which was very new at the time that I got this tattoo, so I'm glad I still like it. But honestly, I put Panic at the Disco on shuffle outside the tattoo shop. That song came on, and I got a line from that song. I was willing to get a line from any Panic at the Disco song. I just picked shuffle, that one came on, that's what I got. And I never think about it being there anymore because there's so much other stuff going on there, I never even think about it. But that, other than this being on the side of my arm, like most of the time you don't see it, this was like, oh my gosh, she has a tattoo. But anyways, let's move on to the next tattoo, which is right next to it. So this was a design I had for a really long time. Do not steal it because I made this myself. So it is the Panic at the Disco logo. I chopped the top like little triangle piece off and put the Fall Out Boy crown, and I also put it in purple for Fall Out Boy. So this is a Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy tattoo. Panic at the Disco, mostly the symbol, and then the purple and crown for Fall Out Boy because I love those two bands very much. And it is a little scratchy. Sometimes people say, oh, is this a stencil? Before I had everything else around it, people thought it was just a stencil, but no, it's just purple ink. I do wish that I had got it in color now just because I do have so much other black around my arm. But at the time, people just thought it was like a sticker because there was nothing else around it. There was just this line and this. So that was weird, but I do enjoy it, and I'm really glad I customized both of their logos to make it one unit. Air freshener. Alright, what was next? What was next? Ooh, I know what was next. So next up is for my favorite show ever. Was this next? No, this wasn't next. No, this wasn't next. Okay, never mind. Was it? No. Okay, scrap that. That's the next one. But my next tattoo is my biggest tattoo, and it is for my love, Johnny Depp. So I have an Edward Scissorhands tattoo, also Winona Ryder on my arm. So I have a giant Edward Scissorhands who covers up most of my forearm. This is how it looked fresh, you guys. It looked so good fresh. But I swear to you, living in Florida and like driving a car, it faded so bad. But let me show you. Alright, so this is my Edward Scissorhands. We have his face here. A lot of his highlights and scars are kind of faded, but he'd have tons of scars on his face. This took forever because there is a million little lines in the leather, and also the blades and the hands themselves. I mean, I think it's very detailed. Winona's face over here, we picked an orange instead of just a normal blonde hair just to make it last longer. I love the way his hands look. They look so good, and the leather outfit actually looks like leather, which is amazing, and it takes up the majority of my forearm. I love Tim Burton. I love Johnny Depp. I love that movie. Is it my favorite movie of all time? No, which people assume all the time, but I do adore that movie, so I got Edward Scissorhands on my arm, and I'm very happy with it. Now let's talk about the one I thought was next, but now it's next. So next up, I got a Breaking Bad plate and text and some glow from Breaking Bad. So Breaking Bad is my favorite show, and I had to commemorate them, and I want more Breaking Bad related tattoos because I love Breaking Bad. So sometimes I forget it's back here, but I have a plate that says "No half measures," which is a Mike quote from season 4, I believe. I also have a broken plate from one of my favorite deaths in the show from season 1, episode 3. If you know, you know. And I got blue for the meth in the show, but I didn't want to get meth tattooed on me. So yeah, I have a broken plate with some text for Breaking Bad on my arm. I really wanted the back of my arm filled in really bad, but it left me like this little weird gap because I had this and then I had the back. So I'm glad I filled it eventually, but Breaking Bad plate on my arm. I love the plate thing. Like, I don't know. Most people get like standard Breaking Bad things or like Heisenberg's face. I wanted something more creative, and I didn't just want a plate. I wanted text to bring it in together too. So that's what I got, and I'm happy with it, even though I wish I could see it more because I never see it. All right, next up. I think I got these in order now. I think I got this. Probably don't. Next up is to fill in the little weird gap between my plates and my symbols here. So I have, well, technically two. So we're just going to count both of them together because one's very small, but Bad Flower. So I'm wearing Bad Flower merch. I love Bad Flower. They're my favorite band. And this album was only like 4 months old when I got this tattoo. So I was risking it that I would outgrow this album. Or that the band's second album wouldn't be good, and they only had this one album, so I'm taking a risk with this tattoo, but I'm very invested in it, and I love Bad Flower. So I have the album cover for Okay I'm Sick on my arm, and I also have Josh Katz, the lead singer Josh, signed my arm, and I got it tattooed. So I had him sign me with a Sharpie, and I got a tattoo 2 days later, and had his signature signed on me as well, so we're gonna count them as one tattoo. Yeah, we're gonna count it as one, right? It's two things, but, you know. He liked it. He thought it was cool. So here is my little Okay I'm Sick. I didn't even think about it because obviously I booked the appointment ahead of time to get this done. I didn't even think about the border around it, but I now love the square border around this. For it being on a weird part of my arm, where most of the time my arm's like this, it's kind of bent. The square still looks really straight, and it's really well done, and I love the red blood drip to it. And I was really nervous about the hair because blonde hair, I didn't know how that was going to get tattooed. But Mandy Maniac on Instagram did an amazing job. Oh, and right above this, that's his signature that I got signed. This was way before this, but yeah, we'll count them as two separate ones. Screw it. Then I got his little signature there, and I'm glad I could actually, like, I kept putting like bandages and stuff over the signature to make it last for 2 days without getting washed off. So yeah, Bad Flower's awesome. Great band. Check them out. Alright, next up, okay, no, okay, I thought I knew what order these were in. Next up is another filler piece. Now, I wanted this, but it is a very odd space I gave her to work with, so I'm really happy it came out well. Next thing is in the ditch of my arm. This is a Friday the 13th tattoo. I love bats, but it was an experience. Okay, so right here I have a little bat. He's really cute. I don't know. He's really wonky, like he's poorly done, but it's also in the ditch of my arm. So there's that. Thought it was cool, Friday the 13th tattoo, and I also just realized I forgot about 2 more tattoos. So these are not in order anymore. I forgot about 2. I forgot about these 2, because I got these 2 before this. So we'll backtrack a little bit. Before I got this tattoo, I got this tattoo. So this is a My Chemical Romance tattoo. There's a lot of band stuff going on in my arms, isn't there? But I got a My Chemical Romance tattoo. It's very poorly done. The artist was asked to change this design because it was on like a picture on the internet, and I was like, hey, can you change this up? Maybe change the flowers, blah, 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 blah. He didn't do any of that, and it's very poorly done. I would never recommend going to this place. And I did go again anyways to get this. So both my bad tattoos are from the same place. I don't know why I make these decisions, you guys. But this is the tattoo. It says asleep or dead on it. Something bit me right there. It's not usually that red. But it's just some flowers. It says asleep or dead, and it is a My Chemical Romance tattoo from Famous Last Words. Thought I was gonna kill myself that day. Instead, I went down the street to the tattoo parlor and got that done. I didn't know it was a bad tattoo parlor at the time. I just walked in and asked for that, and I was highly overcharged for it. But once it's on your skin, you can't negate the price, so yeah, I don't know. I like it a lot. It just, I wish he had changed it, and I wish it was better done, but I do still really love the tattoo, and I love having a My Chemical Romance tattoo. It's not just like a Black Parade thing, you know? Next up, well, it was before this, again, so it was after this, then this. Alright. So, regrets. No, I don't regret it, actually. I still think it's an awesome looking tattoo. So next up I have this Gypsy girl. There's no way to show you without stretching her face out. There we go. And there's like a Gypsy pirate girl. I don't know if she's a pirate or a Gypsy. I like to think she's a cute little pirate, but we have green eyes, purple, And it's not something I ever thought I'd get for myself, but the person I was dating at the time, we picked each other's tattoos. His is much bigger than mine. I still think mine looks cool, so I don't regret it, but don't date someone for like 2 or 3 weeks and get them to pick out tattoos for you. It was a fun experience. I would totally do it again, just with a better person. So there's that, but I do really like the tattoo still. I think she looks nice on my arm and I don't regret her at all. Okay, so we talked about my bat. After the bat, when this was still like healing, I got another tattoo from the same person who did the Bad Flower one. So I have a Secret Window tattoo. Now, Secret Window is my favorite movie, my favorite modern movie. It is a Stephen King novel and movie, obviously, and there's Johnny Depp starring it, and I love Secret Window. So Secret Window is about an author. Someone thinks they stole their story, yada yada yada. Their wife's cheating, getting a divorce. He's going through a lot. It's an awesome movie. Check it out. It's only like an hour and a half long. If you have the time, do that. But I got a Secret Window tattoo. So I have the head with the glasses and his blonde hair. This is from like a movie poster, and I like designed it to fit in here, and she fitted in my arm perfectly. So we have a bloody shovel as well as a corn stalk, and I'm not going to spoil the movie in case y'all want to check it out, but it's very Secret Window. Even though some people think this is like a Heisenberg tattoo, which bothers me, but I do love Breaking Bad, so it doesn't bother me at the same time. Again, I gave Mandy like some weird spots to fill in between these two things, and then I gave her this little triangle here between this line here and the Edward Scissorhands. She did a great job of filling stuff in. So mad props to her on that. But yeah, I got a Secret Window tattoo. My second Johnny Depp tattoo right next to the other one. Didn't plan it that way, but it's a really good filler piece, and I really wanted a Secret Window tattoo. Next up after that, is that it? No. No. Okay. After that, I believe it was this heart. So this is my little anatomical heart with a cemetery scene inside and the moon. I love this one. I love the etching, and it's so black. Like, compare it to my Edward Scissorhands. This thing is black. This is so black, and it's been here for months, but this is just an absolutely gorgeous piece. So this was a flash tattoo for Friday the 13th. There was like 100 designs. I think I was one of only 2 people that picked this. So it was me and one other person who picked this design, and I love it. I love the etchingness to it. It's so black, and I love black tattoos. And I love cemeteries. I love anatomy, like anatomical stuff, like my chair design back there. I love stuff like that, and cemeteries are awesome, and I like the ghosts and the paranormal and stuff. So it's a great fitting tattoo for me, and it's one of my favorites. Like, I really love it a lot. Alright, next up is another design that was already made, but I'm the only person who has it, and I love it. So I got this on the back of my arm above my plate, and it is for Twilight Zone. So it's just this little doorway with a frame and like some swirlies inside. I don't technically know what it is, but I wanted this because I love the show The Twilight Zone, and I think it came out really well. Now, it hurt way more than I expected. I feel like I got dug into pretty hard with this one, but the black is very solid and I like it a lot. So that's really cute. And while we're here, I also got this next. So it was a perfect filler spot, and it's a little eyeball with a teardrop. This is from John West in St. Augustine, an electric chair tattoo. It was a flash, and I adore, again, anatomical stuff. I love eyeballs. The only thing I want next is a hand tattoo, so that's really cool. And lastly, because this video is getting kind of long, we have this rose. Now, majority of my arm and stuff is black. We have some color popped in here, but it's mostly black, and then I have a full color tattoo, so I don't know why I did that, but this was just someone's original design. I liked it. We were picking out tattoos, and I got this one. I told him to just go for the colors. I picked the rose being purple, but like the yellow and the red background and stuff and the green leaves, he picked all those colors, and I think it looks really cool. I do think it's very stereotypical for a girl to get a rose tattoo on her shoulder. I always told myself I wouldn't get a rose on my shoulder because everyone does that, and then I did it anyway. So yeah, and it just kind of fills in the arm pretty well. I need to fill in this spot. Ignore that spot for now. But I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's all my tattoos. Most of them are on the arm. We got the back of the shoulder and the rib cage too, but mostly the arm, and I do want to get a half sleeve on this side, so, and fill in the spot. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please let me know which one of my tattoos is your favorite in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. My Scissorhands is my favorite. It's huge. Johnny Depp. It took forever. But yeah, that's my favorite. And I do like my rib cage and my little anatomical heart as well. Oh, and the okay, I'm sick. Okay, well, I love my tattoos. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Forgetting how to talk. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.